Hello and welcome uh, to this session of career counseling. I'm your career coach. My name is Zamir Abbasi and I've been in the recruitment and selection field for the last 20 years. I've been recruiting hundreds and hundreds of professionals of different level, from entry level to the general manager. So whatever skills I have, I would like to give back to the community and to guide those professionals who are in search of the job, so that they can apply these strategies and get their job hunt intensified. So we are going to start this series, and we will have short videos on different tips and techniques, how to prepare for the interview, how to prepare actually the job hunt strategies, and then how to craft the CV, how to prepare for the interview, and so forth. So we will start from the introduction today, and why this idea came that we should start something which can guide our professionals who are on the starting level of their career, how to set their job hunt strategies in the way that they can get job more quickly. Now, the first strategy in the job hunt, it is very important to understand that job hunt is a painstaking thing. It's not so easy. There is a lot of tests and trials. There are a lot of tests and trials when you start the job hunt strategy. When you come out of the university, or when you are not a professional, there are a lot of dreams you have. But as soon as you come out in the job hunt, in the job market, the first obstacle which you find is that you don't have experience. So basically, this is the first hurdle in your way. So, having said this, it needs a lot of patience to start the job hunt and win an interview, win an interview call. So before that, there are a lot of other things which need to be considered in order to achieve that objective of having a successful interview. Now, to start with, I would like to say a recruiter has, at this busy age, the recruiter has 10 to 15 seconds for your CV to review it. So it's not about minutes, it's 10 to 15 seconds a recruiter has to review your CV. And if in those 10 to 15 seconds you have a lot of information which is destructive and which is irrelevant, for example, some people even write the whole address of their city or their village, their father name, and their marks in the higher secondary school, and their ID card numbers, even somewhere in the internationally when they send the CV, it's something which is called domicile and which province. So recruiter has nothing to do with your father name or your address in the village, or how much marks you got in your higher secondary school. So all this irrelevant information distracts the recruiter. So 10 to 15 seconds basically are already consumed with the information which is irrelevant, and then your CV, instead of going to the win, it goes to the bin. So from win to bin, it's a very narrow distance, but you have to adopt the right strategies in order to move your CV going to win instead of going to the bin. So these are the things. The first thing is your CV, your profile should be very attractive and presentable, and the information should be correct, the language should be powerful, there should be no spelling mistakes, and it should be flawless, so that once at the first glance, and the first impression is the last impression. So when your CV comes in front of a recruiter, the first glance, first 5 seconds are very, very important. They are vital to understand, for recruiter to understand whether you have the right skill sets which are required for this particular opening or not. And if your CV has irrelevant information, so by the time the recruiter reach to evaluate your actual skills, he already or she already lose the patience, or that 10 to 15 seconds time is over and your CV goes to bin. So this is what we are going to discuss in our upcoming series, and stay tuned with us. Next week, every week we are gonna release one CV where different kind of tips and techniques will be provided to the professionals who are in need of it. Some of the information you cannot elaborate it in the CV. For example, for every position you need to customize your CV. For every opening you need to customize your CV so that your skills are matching to the organization's requirement. So you cannot do every time you come back and do the changes in the CV. So what you can do is to add a cover letter with your CV, where you can put those extra information you needed to give to the employer in that cover letter. But if you are the entry level and you don't have a lot of experience, then you don't have to add another cover letter, and you can also you can keep those information at the end of your CV, because eventually your CV is not going to be more than 2 or 3 pages. So now this is also a point, that do not fill your CV with the extra information like the job descriptions. You don't need to tell the employer that this is my job description and I have been doing. And basically this is another lie, because nobody does. For example, I have a job description. I don't do exactly what is my job description. I am going to do whatever is coming on my way every day on daily basis. What kind of projects I am handling, what kind of tasks I am doing on daily basis, that depends the organization's needs and requirements. So you cannot put your job descriptions, 2 pages of job descriptions, and that's it. And this is also a kind of distraction for the employer, that he will say, what is the point putting a job description? Like, okay, if you have skills which you need to highlight them as an actual. Like you say that I did this, not that it was my job description. So that means it was your job description, but what you did is something different. So this is very important, that you don't put. I have seen many CVs, they are filled with the job descriptions. Okay, yes, you can put the key responsibilities, and those will be focused. Those are the responsibilities which you are actually carrying out, and not the job description which is not factual. So consider this point also when you're making your CV. Putting dates in your CV is very, very important. Some people, they just say 1 year experience, 2 year experience, 3 years experience. This doesn't say anything. You need to put in order all the dates where you worked. So X organization you worked from this month this year to this month this year. These has to be very, very carefully done, and you should remember those dates, because when you are in the interview process, these days they will ask you, okay, during the time, and you cannot say that you can refer to the CV. You have to learn these dates by heart, and you should remember these dates which you are putting in the CV. So again, if there is a gap, you can elaborate it. Also stuck when the question comes that for example, I worked in X organization for a very short period of 6 months or 1 year, and that becomes the question mark, why I left that company, and if I am leaving more frequently. And basically in the start of your career you will switch couple of jobs more frequently. So this will be a question mark to the employer, because employer do not understand that this is for the growth purpose, or this is to get the diverse experience, but they take it in a different way, that for example you joined a company and you could not work there more than 6 months, and this is a question mark to your skills and experience. So basically you have to get ready. You have to properly put the reasoning in your CV. What was the reason? You need not to put reasons for all the organizations you left, but the organizations you left very earlier with a short span of time, you need to elaborate a little bit or explain the reasons behind it, and what was the reason. And if you were, for example, terminated, just try to explain it in a positive way, and what kind of reasons were there to that you were parted from that organization. So this is very, very important, because and this is again a very tough question during the interview time also, which we are going to discuss it later. But for the interview time also, this question is always asked: why you left these organizations very quickly. So this is very important point, and you have to work on it. Unfortunately, if you left one or two organizations very quickly, then you need to have a reasoning, and try to be truthful, try to be fair, and there is no harm in it. So you have to consider this point while crafting your CV as well. Now, the gaps in experience. You might have, for instance, you worked in a company and then you left that company, or they laid you off. So by the time you get another job, you will have a little span of time, which is a short stint, which is you did not work. So some people, they try to make up that and join those period where they did not work. Do not do this. Be very factual, and be very very clear and transparent, and you can put the actual dates and months in your CV, and do not put any wrong months and CVs, because if even after you get a job, after you get an interview call, if the employer finds out, it will be troublesome for you. So consider this point. Now, if you are applying in an international, somewhere abroad, do not, if there is a company you have worked in locally, and you are putting that experience, maybe the employer abroad doesn't know what kind of company is it. So you have to explain what kind of business the company you were working, they are in. So the employer will know what kind of business and what is the volume of that, size of that company. So you have to give a little bit of explanation of the companies you are working, or whatever institutions, even the universities and the educational institutions you have studied. You can give a little bit of brief, and at the end probably you can add the website, so that if I, as an international recruiter, want to look at the organization where you worked, or look at the institution where you studied, I can easily go into that website.